Sir, welcome back, everybody. 24/7 Sports, where business is always open. I'm your host, Jordan Lewis, man. And as you can see, I'm in a real good mood today. I got the shades on inside. I'm wilding a little bit, but you see what I got on my shirt, man. You see what it is. You see what's on the shirt, baby. You see what it is. Ohio State is the national champions of the college football world. Without further ado, we're going to get straight into it, man. I hope that everybody had a phenomenal weekend. It snowed where I'm at, so if you were snowed in, I hope that you were safe. I hope that you were careful going back and forth to where you had to get to, man. But, yeah, I don't want to waste no time because we got a lot to get into today, bro. But we're going to start it off. Ohio State defeated Notre Dame in the national championship to claim their ninth national championship, man. Shout out Ohio State. Appreciate you, Nick. Appreciate you, man. What's going on, Kaylin? Appreciate you guys for tuning in. But, yeah, let me actually make this just a tad bit smaller so it doesn't cover my face. Just like that. There we go. So, yes, Ohio State is your national champions. Probably one of the most stressful games I ever watched because I thought it was going to be put away in the first half, but then, I remembered who my favorite team is, and they have problems with keeping their foot on the gas a little bit. So, Notre Dame came out with a absolutely absurd 18-play, 9-10-minute drive. Keep Ohio State's offense off the field, man. They were chugging down. It was ridiculous. Riley Leonard ran like 9 times on the first drive, and I think he ran 8 times the rest of the game. But dude was gassed after that first drive. Dude was gassed. But Riley Leonard's a soldier, man. That was a great effort he put up. Riley Leonard had 255 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown with 40 yards to go on the ground. So a little under 300 total yards and 3 touchdowns in the championship game performance. Riley Leonard, have yourself a day, man. You earned a lot of respect last night with that absolute gutsy performance. Shout out to Jaden Greyhouse as well, another young wide receiver that came through and made plays. 128 yards, 2 touchdowns, had a ridiculous touchdown. The first one he had where he broke Jermaine Matthews' tackle, spun off of Caleb Downs of all people, was one of the most sure-handed tacklers in college football, and then skated towards the end zone after, beating all the Buckeyes until he got to the promised land. I mean, Notre Dame put up a fight, man. That was a heck of a fight. And this is kind of the team Notre Dame's been all year, just scrappy, Even when they're down, they're not out. We saw that in the semifinal against Penn State. And, everybody thought Penn State was kind of just going to walk over Notre Dame. They went up early, I think 10-0, and then we're up 21-10. And then ultimately, Notre Dame came back and won that game. So, I knew going in that this wasn't going to be a blowout. I don't know why everybody thought it was going to be a blowout. I understand the kind of firepower that Ohio State has, but you also have to understand when you're a team that's inspired, which Notre Dame has been ever since they lost to NIU in week 2 or 3 of the season. When you're an inspired team, it is hard to put them away, like very hard. And we saw that last night with Notre Dame. I mean, play after play, Riley Leonard was making some ridiculous throws with pressure in his face. I mean, that kid is tough. That kid is tough for real. So big salute to Notre Dame. Heck of a performance, heck of a second half performance. Outside of that, first half was rough outside of the first drive. But, heck of a performance from Notre Dame. But, man, the Buckeyes, baby, they came through when they had to. Defense was a little shell-shocked the opening drive, and then they locked in for the rest of the first half. Got 3 straight 3-and-outs on Notre Dame's offense, who's been scoring basically at will all season. And then, that offense was as good as advertised last night. Will Howard put up 231 yards and 2 touchdowns. He was 17 of 21 passing. He only missed 4 throws. He almost had as many touchdowns as he did incompletions, which is nuts. And then on top of that, it was just like he couldn't miss. Like he started off, it was a national record 14 of 14 to start off the game, which is absolutely absurd. And then the ground game was working. Quinshon Judkins had himself a day. That's who I thought was going to be player of the game. They gave it to Will Howard. 14 of 14 to start off is absurd, but Quinshon Judkins was my player of the day. Quinshon Judkins had 11 carries, 100 yards, and 2 touchdowns, including a college football playoff record-breaking 70-yard run, the longest ever in the college football playoff. Will Howard added 16 carries with 57 yards on the ground, and Travion Henderson got him going with 12 carries and 49 yards on the ground. Very balanced attack for the Buckeyes. And then Quinshon Judkins gave him another touchdown through the air. Will Howard found him literally wide open in the back of the end zone after leaking out through the zone by the linebackers. Carnell Tate added 2 nice catches for 35 yards. Emeka Ibuka, an absolute legend. Good luck in the NFL, Emeka. With 6 catches and 64 yards, Emeka is now the Ohio State all-time record holder for career receptions at 205. And he we finally have a modern-day Ohio State wide receiver. Finally get Michael Jenkins' receiving yardage record. Ibuka got it on one of his last catches last night. Congratulations to Emeka. Was never really the top guy at Ohio State. He backed up. He was with Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Marvin Harrison Jr., Jackson Smith and Jigba, and the guy I'm about to talk about in a second because that man deserves his own little piece on the side. But Emeka is one of the most underrated players to ever come through Ohio State, and I couldn't think of a player that was more deserving to getting those 2 records. So congratulations to Emeka. You will be a first-round pick sometime in April. Not sure where you're going to go. Got a couple ideas, but man, Ohio State was extremely lucky to have you. You were a phenomenal young man. You carried yourself with class. You were everything that it meant to be a Buckeye. We appreciate you, and good luck in the NFL. And then the man of the hour, the freshman wide receiver that has literally taken college football by storm, Jeremiah Smith. Not the best game in the world. 5 catches, 88 yards. Only had 4 catches for 32 yards. and a touchdown, but then, my goodness, one play, 56 yards to seal the deal. I mean, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of guts to go out there and do what Will Howard, Jeremiah Smith, and Ryan Day and Chip Kelly called up to do. You know, 1st and 10, 2nd and 11. You know, quarterback runs just to make sure they waste timeouts. Wasn't really a fan of the play calling in the 3rd and 4th quarter just because I feel like it got very stagnant. Outside of Quinshawn's long run in the 3rd quarter, Ohio State couldn't really get much going. But, you know, they still, I mean, obviously they did what they had to do. They're the champs. But, you know, I just don't like the complacency that was being shown from an offensive play calling standpoint. And I think that was the one thing that was going to kill Ohio State. I just feel like they, that's been their biggest issue, is that when they get up big, and we saw it throughout the entire playoff. You know, they're up 28-10 against Tennessee at half, and then they only end up putting up 41. You know, they're up 34-8 against Oregon. They only win 41-21. Texas was one of those games where it was pretty well balanced. You know, 14-7, 28-14. So, you know, they put up 2 touchdowns in the first half, 2 touchdowns in the second half. But then, yeah, you know, so it's just a trend of starting out really fast and then, you know, losing, you know, taking your foot off the gas. And I don't really put it on the players. I really put it on play calling. You know, Chip has been very hot and cold this year with play calling for Ohio State. But, man, when he dialed up that play, I was like, because I think every Buckeye fan saw that 3rd and 11, looked at the bottom of the screen, saw Jeremiah Smith one-on-one, and said, if this ball doesn't go to him, then we deserve to lose a national championship. Because there is no other person on that field that should get the ball in that situation. Jeremiah Smith is, for those who are just watching my podcast, Jeremiah Smith is a freshman wide receiver at The Ohio State University, and he is good. He is damn good. He finished his ridiculous freshman season with 76 catches, 1,315 yards, and 15 touchdowns. I mean, bro was as good as advertised. There ain't no other way to put it. He was as good as advertised. And then for him to go up and make a play like that at the end of the game with 2 minutes left to basically seal the deal, you know, Ohio State was able to just run out the clock and then have Jaden Fielding come on and kick the, you know, game-clinching field goal. You know, I think speaks volumes to him as a player, and the fact that he's only a freshman and he still has 2 more years of this is absolutely diabolical. You know, people have been arguing whether or not he should be the number 1 pick in the draft, and you know, if it was a all players are eligible draft, I think he would have a very strong argument to be the first player taken off the board. You know, 6'3", 215 at 19 years old, so he can only get faster and stronger. And he literally goes up and plays the ball like he's Julio Jones. It's ridiculous. And then he has he's fast. Like, nobody that big should be that fast. Pause. But it was very fun to watch as an Ohio State fan. I mean, I've been waiting on a national championship for a long time. Got there in 2020, but I think every Buckeye fan was under the assumption that wasn't nobody beating the Alabama team that year. I don't even remember who Alabama played. It might have been Notre Dame, honestly. I don't remember who Alabama played in 2020, but there was nobody touching that team. So when Justin Fields got past Clemson, we kind of knew, like, okay, yeah, we're in for, it's going to be a rough one. You know, and Ohio State kept it close that game. It was 21-14, I believe, in the second quarter, and then Alabama just poured it on. Devontae Smith didn't even play in the second half. He went that crazy. So, yeah, we waited 10 years from this ever since Ezekiel Elliott, Cardale Jones, and all them boys got the job done against Oregon 10 years ago in the national championship for the inaugural college football playoff period. 4-team doesn't matter. It is the first ever college football playoff. And now in the inaugural 12-team, history kind of repeats itself, and they get the job done. And shout out to all the guys on defense that made plays. JT Tuimoloau had 5 tackles, including a sack. Sonny Styles had 6 tackles, including a sack. Caleb Downs, 5 tackles. And Cody Simon, who was actually named Defensive Player of the Game, led all the Buckeyes with 8 tackles on the day. It was an overall great game, great performance, top to bottom from the Buckeyes. Defense was a little shaky, but you know, you can't play perfect every single game. And Ohio State defensively had a damn near perfect first half outside of that first drive. and then they just kicked it into overdrive afterwards, man. So big shout out to all the guys for playing. This is probably one of the most well-balanced games that they've played all year on the biggest stage. And then in the biggest moment, they called their own number, called their own shot, and they got the job done, man. So I'm super happy to be a Buckeye fan today. I hope Buckeye fans everywhere are enjoying themselves because it's been a long time coming, man. Been a long time coming for us. We've been waiting a really long time to see Ryan Day and all those boys get over the hump, and man, for so long, it was like, are we ever going to win a national championship with Ryan Day? That question has officially been answered, and the answer is a resounding yes, yes, yes. I am super happy. I'm probably going to be celebrating this. I said on my Instagram, if y'all want to mute me, you can. But I said on my Instagram that I'm probably going to be celebrating until August. So when the parade come up, when anything Ohio State related come up, man, it is getting reposted because I'm proud to be an Ohio State Buckeye fan. And hopefully one day I'll be a Buckeye, actually. We'll get more to that later, when I'm actually streaming my regular gaming content. But, yeah, I'm keeping the glasses on, man, because I feel good today. I feel really good. I'm super excited to be an Ohio State Buckeye fan today. And, yeah, job is officially finished. It was one more than forever. Forever is finally here. So them boys will go down in history. I want to say, as a Buckeye fan, thank you to every single senior that thought it not robbery to come back and play for Ohio State one more time. Didn't accomplish 2 to 3 goals that we had set out for, which is beating them boys up north and getting to a Big Ten championship. But, man, this only made it sweeter, going through all of that adversity, Having Coach getting called out the way he did, bro, and seeing the guys really just rally together as opposed to separating. I mean, this is a hell of a 30 for 30, man. I cannot wait. I hope they drop a 30 for 30 on this one day, bro, because I would love to hear from the players what was said in that players-only meeting, bro. Because Coach Day, Will Howard, Quinshawn, Jeremiah, all the guys said that they had a players-only meeting with just Coach Day, and it was a free-for-all in there. Probably not the best place to be in. It was a little hostile, but, I mean, after the way they lost to Oregon and the way they lost to Michigan, I think it was warranted. And then after that, they were unblemished. So, big congratulations to Ohio State. Yeah, and can't wait to see what they do going forward. So, that's it for college football. We won't be getting into college football, honestly, probably until August comes around. We'll start getting more depth chart stuff about all the new freshmen coming in, and we'll have more of an idea of where everybody's at because I feel like there's going to be a couple Ohio State and Notre Dame players entering the transfer portal, so those guys get a chance to actually look for a home since they probably won't be playing at either Ohio State or Notre Dame next year, or they just need to change the scenery. So good luck to all the players in the transfer portal currently that are looking for a place to call home. I saw Devin Brown, the backup for Ohio State, coming to Cal earlier. Shout out to Devin Brown. And, yeah, so no more college football. So we officially move on to the NFL where we got ourselves a dog fight in this one. Kansas City Chiefs, Buffalo Bills, AFC Championship game, man. I am super, super excited for this game. I think all of America is super excited for this game. Now, for most of America, we're a little upset because Lamar Jackson is not in the AFC Championship. I think a lot of people wanted Lamar to finally get a ring. Unfortunately, it will not be this year. And as Lamar being my favorite all-time player, I'm extremely hurt by the fact that he has not competed for a chance to get to the Super Bowl again this year. Thankfully, Ohio State is kind of like, my silver lining right now. So I got something to celebrate sports-wise for a bit. So, but yeah, Kansas City coming off a big win against Houston in the divisional round playoff, and now they are looking to get to their third straight Super Bowl and looking to complete the three-peat. They are 2 games away from doing just that, being the first team to doing that. And we got the Buffalo Bills coming off of one dominant performance against Denver, and I would say a so-so game against Baltimore. I definitely do not think the better team won that game. However, I will say, matter of fact, I'll say this: the better team did win. The most talented team did not win. I think the Ravens have more talent, as everybody has said. Oh, Josh Allen doesn't have any help. Now, for all the Bills fans or for all the Josh Allen MVP truthers, I respect Josh Allen. I love Josh Allen as a player. I think he does great work for the community as somebody off the field. But y'all got to stop acting like Josh Allen is surrounded by some scrubs. James Cook is a 1,000-yard back that had 16 touchdowns. 16 touchdowns. Stop treating James Cook like he's sorry. Like, seriously, bro. It's ridiculous the fact that everybody always says Josh Allen has no help. Josh Allen has a back that went for 16 touchdowns, including 2 that he caught. So he had 18 touchdowns throughout the entire year. That's ridiculous. We got to stop treating that like that's just normal. That's not normal. James Cook is a dog. And in my opinion, he had an argument to be a Pro Bowler. Now, obviously, I think the Pro Bowlers on the AFC side deserved it. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I remember looking at the list and going, okay, they could have snuck James Cook in there, but I wasn't mad with who they had. It was Derek. It was I want to say Derek. Matter of fact, while I'm thinking about that, I'm gonna look that up. But yeah, so the Bills defeated the Ravens 27-25 in what I thought was a great game. It's very unfortunate that the game ended the way it did because it kind of leaves a sour taste in everybody's mouth, except maybe Bills fans. But yeah, it was definitely one of those games where it was just like, you didn't know who was going to win, especially at the end. You knew the Ravens had a chance, but they kind of kept fumbling away. And, you didn't really know what was going to happen. Lamar Jackson threw the dot of his career to Isaiah Likely in the end zone. And then, unfortunately, Mark Andrews had the drop. It was a rough game overall for the Ravens. 3 turnovers is not going to win you a game ever, especially against a team like Buffalo. You can't get away with those things, especially with the way Buffalo was taking care of the football all season long. And yeah, it was just a matter of who was going to stay true to that. Both teams have done a great job with taking care of the football. I think Josh had 8 turnovers coming into the playoffs, and Lamar had 9. So both quarterbacks especially do a good job of taking care of the football. Now, Lamar's interception was kind of like an arm punt. Bills didn't do anything with it, so okay. But the fumble wasn't good. The fumble was not good. It was a bad snap. Lamar was trying to look down the field, trying to find some work, ended up taking off. And the lane was there, so honestly, I felt like he shouldn't have even looked to pass. I feel like had he just taken off, he probably could have got a first down because ain't too many people that's going to touch Lamar Jackson when he's running down the field at full speed. But, yeah, turnovers were huge. That fumble was huge. That led to a Bills touchdown. And if Lamar Jackson doesn't fumble the ball and he goes down and gets the ball to Isaiah Likely, they don't go for 2. They kick an extra point, and it's 26-20 instead of, actually, they probably kick both extra points. So it's 27-20, and the Bills need to drive down and get a touchdown. And it was tough for the Bills, especially in the second half, to get down the field. So, yeah, I definitely feel like Baltimore definitely had a chance to win this game, but unfortunately they are out, so we will not be talking about Baltimore until next year. So let's talk about what we have now. We are getting Josh Allen versus Pat Mahomes, Part 4 in the playoffs. No matter where this game is, no matter what round this game is taking place in, it really does not matter. This game is going to be must-see TV. So make sure if you are a football fan or if you are looking to get into football at 6:30 p.m., grab your popcorn, grab your beverages, grab your family, sit your behinds down on the couch and be a couch potato for 3.5 hours and get ready to watch absolute cinema. Because this game is going to be good. I thought either team that won out of that game, whether it was Buffalo or Baltimore, I felt like either game would have been a phenomenal game for the Ravens. I do think the Ravens are a better matchup for Kansas City. However, I do think that whenever Buffalo plays Kansas City, Josh Allen decides to play his best football, and I think that is very dangerous. Now, how I think the game is going to go, I do feel as though the Chiefs coming in are the better team. I think Buffalo, during the regular season when they got very hot, was easily a better team, and I wasn't surprised that Buffalo was the only team to put, the first team, I guess, to put a blemish on their record. Josh Allen played great that game. He had the touchdown that sealed the game on a beautiful touchdown run straight through the heart of the defense. And I definitely feel like this game is going to be very similar to all the other Bills Chiefs classic games that we have, where it's just back and forth nonstop. Defenses make a couple of plays, but I think it's going to be a great game. Now, here's the only thing. Here's the matchup that I think is going to be the deciding factor for this game. Can the Bills defense, who has been noticeably middle of the pack this year, can that defense stop a playoff Chiefs offense? Hear me when I say this, because there's two completely different teams. There's the Chiefs in the regular season and the Chiefs when playoff time comes around. And that Chiefs offense when playoff time comes around, I don't care. You could talk about the refs. You could talk about whatever it is that you need to do. They find a way, no matter what, to absolutely smoke you. No matter what. They always have a knack for making the right play. Pat is a quarterback who, no matter what, will make the right play at all times. And I don't care what anybody says. Everybody is always better than Pat Mahomes until it is officially time to be better than Pat Mahomes. And that is why I think Kansas City is going to a third straight Super Bowl. I just don't see how they lose this game. When you have an offense that started clicking towards the end of the year the way that they were, and they weren't great against Houston, but Houston's defense is also very, very underrated. So I hope people recognize that Houston's defense for most part of the year has been very, very good. And they're a defense that is very up and down because they lost pieces throughout the year. But when that defense is healthy, boy, ain't too many teams rocking with Houston, bro. And I think when Houston's a fully healthy Houston team next year is going to be a problem. And I wouldn't be surprised if we have the same 4 teams in the divisional round next year, barring maybe like Cincinnati finally figures it out or whatever the case may be. But I really wouldn't be surprised if we get Bills, Chiefs, Ravens, and Texans again in the divisional round next year. Seeding to be determined. I don't know what the seeding would be, but I generally wouldn't be surprised if that ends up being the divisional round again. Because, oh my goodness, that Texans team can be very scary when everybody's healthy. And they'll get everybody back offensively. Maybe not Tank Dell. Tank's probably going to need some time to heal. But Diggs will be back. And they'll probably get another piece just to complete Houston. And that's actually goes to my next point. I would look out for, I said it earlier that, Ohio State's underrated receiver, Emeka Egbuka. I have a couple ideas where he might want to get drafted, and I could see Houston taking a chance on him and picking him in the first round, because there's a little bit of uncertainty with Tank, and obviously we want Tank to feel better. I hope Tank gets well, but, you can never be sure. So I think Emeka Egbuka would be a very solid insurance piece. And then obviously if he ends up, and then you could bump up his trade value and then end up trading him later on when Tank Dell gets healthy, because Tank is, oh my gosh, man, I want to see Tank healthy so bad. I love Tank Dell. But yeah, so Houston's going to be really good. I think those 4 teams are going to be really good next year. But yeah, in regards to this year, I just don't see anybody beating the Chiefs when it matters most. And that is the thing that Bills fans especially, they always love to hang their head on beating the Chiefs in the regular season, and then come playoff time, it's crickets. It's the same thing every year. We get to the playoffs, the Bills, after beating the Chiefs in the regular season, are feeling themselves like, oh, we beat you once, we'll do it again, and they end up not doing it again. So I do feel as though this game is going to be a lot closer than people think. Not closer than people think. I think people expect it to be close, and yeah, I'm just talking. My fault. I was just yapping right there. I do think it's going to be a close game. I do. I think it's going to be close. I think Josh probably plays one of his better games all season, but I just think that Chiefs defense is suffocating. And the Bills got to come out with a different game plan than the one they had against the Ravens. The Ravens' game plan worked because they chewed off so much clock. Even if they didn't get the first down and had to punt the ball back, they chewed off so much clock because they just kept running and running and running. Josh only threw the ball 22 times. He was 16 to 22 for like $120. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't your typical stellar MVP Josh Allen performance. But sometimes you don't need that. Sometimes you got to sacrifice statistics to get the win. And of course, Josh Allen, being the player that he is, understood that and was like, all right, we're going to do what we got to do. And Josh was still successful with his legs because 2 of the 3 Bills touchdowns were him on the ground. So they got to find a different approach. You can't run against the Chiefs because you got Chris Jones and George Karlaftis and all them boys sitting right there in the middle, and Nick Bolton at linebacker sitting right there in the middle. And then they suck to pass against, bro. Jalen Watson is back healthy. Smith, he went out the last game, but he's playing again. And then Trent McDuffie, oh my gosh, bro. Trent McDuffie is a dog. I love Trent McDuffie, and I'm super happy that he's been getting the recognition that he deserves over the course of the past few years, because that Chiefs defense was 4th in the NFL this year, but they are super underrated still, in my opinion. So, for predictions for this game, I do have the Chiefs getting back to the Super Bowl. I have them winning in a not low-scoring affair, but somewhat low-scoring. I have them winning 24-17. I don't think Buffalo is going to be able to have an answer for that Chiefs defense and whatever Spags throws at him. Spags is a freaking guru on defense. It's actually absurd watching the way he adjusts mid-game and really catering the defense to whatever it is that the offense throws. I think he's the absolute best in the league at it, bar none. He might be one of the best ever. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely hope that oh Jesus. Not my Money Matt. Hey, I'm gonna stop talking for 1 second. Money Matt, bro, you don't ever have to apologize for coming onto a goddamn stream, bro. You never have to apologize for that. Brother, life is too short and too sacred to ever feel like a freaking live stream is something that you need to apologize for. Brother, you support every time I hop on live. And even if you didn't, that shit, bro, that doesn't matter right now, bro. I'm very thank God that your dad is okay. I will pray for your father. I am super sorry to hear that. I hope that your dad has an amazing and speedy recovery. But I'm so happy that hopefully he's able to leave the hospital tomorrow, bro. I'll make sure I keep him in your prayers. And yeah, man, don't please, bro, please. I need you to understand that is something you never have to apologize for. That is your father, dog. And even if it wasn't your dad, if it was your friend, you had a dog, cat, it don't matter to me. Like, that does not matter to me, bro. Life is way more important than stuff like this, bro. So please take care of your family, take care of your father, man. Be there with your family, please. And we'll be praying for him for sure. Me and the rest of the guys, we'll make sure that we throw up a prayer for your pops, man. Your pops, God ain't done with him just yet. There's a reason he's still here. So continue to pray, continue to lean on him. Allow God to guide your father in the right direction, man. And we're gonna pray for a speedy recovery for him, all right? So just continue to take care of himself, bro. Get out of the stream, bro. Go be with the family, bro. Get out of the stream. We'll be okay, I promise. You're beyond appreciated, bro. But thank you so much for always supporting. You mean the absolute world to all of us. You mean a great deal to all of us. We always talk about how supportive you've been. But, bro, go take care of yourself and the fam, bro. That's more important right now, all right? So, prayers up to Money Mav's dad. Man, we'll be throwing them up later today. But thank you for letting me know, because I would, I'm definitely going to make sure that I send a prayer up, bro. That is super important. So, thank you, Money Mav. I appreciate it, bro. But, yeah, go be with your pops, man. Go be with the fam. They need you right now. So, yeah, so I do think the Chiefs actually win this game. Yeah, I said 24-17. The Bills defense just won't. I don't think the Bills defense will have an answer for that offense, and I don't think the offense will be able to compete with the defense. Not this time around, because everybody's healthy on the Chiefs defense again. There were a couple missing pieces when they played. Now everybody's healthy. McDuffie was banged up. Jalen Watson was hurt. There's a couple guys that were hurt. Yeah, they all back, and I know that every time they lose to the Bills, they come back for blood. So I wouldn't be surprised if this game was a little out of hand at first, because Kansas City's going to be at home. They're going to be rocking. And unlike Buffalo, Kansas City's home field advantage is real. They have yet to lose. The only home game I believe that they lost, there's only been 2 home games that they've lost in the playoffs since Mahomes has gone there 7 years ago. And that was against Brady and the Bengals. He's only lost 2 games. So I fully I fully expect Arrowhead to be loud and proud on Sunday, and it's gonna make life hell for that Bills offense. So I think that the Chiefs take it, and I think that they end up getting to the next round. So yeah, so that's gonna do it for that. Shout out to the Chiefs, shout out to the Bills. Should be another classic, man. Really excited about that game. And now we got an interesting one in this one, man. NFC Championship, Eagles versus Commanders. This game was not on my bingo card. I don't think this game was on anybody's bingo card. For one, who in the hell thought the Commanders would be this good this year? Now, I am somebody who, before, and my cousins could tell you, my dad could tell you, but when he got drafted to the Commanders, I'm like, yeah, Jaden Daniels is going to be that guy. Because Jaden Daniels, if you watched him in college, I mean, bro is a pro at 24. He was a pro in college. The way he manipulates the defense to get them to do what he wants on the field is absolutely disgusting because of his threat with his legs. He's mastered, and his coaches have helped him out so much with mastering being a dual threat quarterback and understanding when to use your legs and understanding when to use your arm. Jaden has mastered it at 24. And the fact that he's only 24, it should be what's scary for the rest of the league because he's only going to get better. And the fact that he has these boys in the conference championship after there isn't a single soul that had them making the playoffs. And if they were probably a Commanders fan who was just really excited about getting Jaden Daniels. But realistically, the Commanders, and it's funny because the Commanders used to have a great defense, and it was always their quarterback away. Some of those pieces left on defense. Last year they were terrible. They did have injuries, but they were terrible. Now you're starting to see a fully built Commander squad completely go at it. And, bro, they dismantled the Lions' defense. I mean, like, bro, it was the most diabolical display of offense I've ever seen run against a team in a divisional round playoff game. The Lions had not one answer for the Commanders. It was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. I couldn't believe that this 6 seed walked into Detroit, a 1 seed, and completely just, bro, took them out of the game. Like, it wasn't even a game after a while. I'm sitting there, I'm like, yo, this is a track meet. Freaking Jaden Daniels was hitting everybody. De'Ami Brown, Terry McLaurin got a screen pass, slipped 2 defenders, and took that joint to the crib. There were so many plays. And then Jaden with his legs, don't even get me started. Bro, it was such a diabolical game. And as somebody who picked the line, both of my Super Bowl picks got out in the divisional round. I had the Ravens and the Lions in the Super Bowl preseason, so that's not going to come to fruition. But, as somebody who picked the Lions, I thought that the defense would be able to at least stall the Commanders a little bit and let the offense keep scoring. And if you're a Lions fan, I mean, you can't really put too much on the offense. Yeah, Jared Goff had 3 picks, but damn, or 2 picks and a fumble, but damn, they still put up 31 points. You put up 31 points most of the time, you win. The defense gave up 45. Like, bro, giving up 45 points at the crib is crazy in the playoffs. That is crazy. So, if I'm being honest right now, I think the Commanders are the most dangerous team left. I really think they are. If there's a script for the NFL, Mahomes, the Golden Boy, and Jaden Daniels, the new star rookie in the Super Bowl, that would be crazy. Let me tell you something, Nate. Let me tell you something right now. Take the glasses off. Let me tell you something right now, bro. If that's the Super Bowl, I'm telling you right now, I'm locked. I might not even go to the bathroom during a commercial break. I'm locked. The Golden Boy against the Golden Rookie would be stupid. That would be stupid lit. And bro, yeah, they not. Oh, Nick, you spitting. Hold on, brother. You know what you did, and I'm happy that you did it. All right, now talk to me. So I'm gonna put the glasses back on because I'm still in a great mood. But yeah. So I definitely feel like yeah. You saying a whole lot. But yeah, I definitely feel like the Commanders right now are the most dangerous team remaining because they've looked absolutely scary on offense. And the defense is doing just enough so that the offense can just go out there and continue to just run up the damn score. It is crazy. Now, on the other hand, we got Philly. Defense looks good, and on offense, I mean, it's Saquon Barkley versus everybody. Bro, if you're a New Yorker like I am, and if you're a Giants fan like Nick is currently in the chat, Nas Too Smooth, you know how dangerous that 26 is. And you knew that when he got signed by the Eagles, of all teams that he could have got signed to, the Eagles, with that offensive line, you knew it was going to be a problem. And this is a slap in the face to the Giants organization. This is a slap in the face to Giants fans that wanted him gone because they didn't think he was the same player. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm happy for him. I'm super happy for Saquon. Now, me being a Jets fan, I don't got no, it is what it is. He was a Giant. That don't really do anything to me. But I actually did get to see him in person because I went to a Giants game a few years back. And being able to watch him in person, oh my gosh, bro, it was a treat. Because he went to Penn State, that's a little far, so I wasn't able to see him in college. But, man, watching him in person with a Giants uniform on was something special, bro. So, yeah, we all knew that Saquon was what he is, but he turned it up another level. I mean, 200 yards and 2 touchdowns in the snow in the playoffs is crazy. I'm glad he went to the Eagles. I'm a Giants fan. They trash. Watching him shine is amazing. Hey, bro, look. Show you right. Show you damn right. He's been an absolute amazing watch every time he is on the TV. You just sit there and hold your breath thinking, damn, what's he going to do next? And he ended off with a 2,000-yard season. Could have potentially gotten the record against the Giants at the crib, which would have been crazy, but decided that this was the better route to take. And yeah, I think it's paying off. 100 yards in the first game and 200 yards and 2 touchdowns in the second game. Yeah, I think sitting in the last game would pay off a little bit. Now, granted, your name won't be etched in history with the NFL rushing record, but I think it says a lot to Saquon's character that he thought of the good of the team and was just like, nah, let's be rested for the playoffs. And now Saquon's the farthest he's ever been in the playoffs. He's never gotten to an NFC championship game. He's gotten booted out of the divisional round by the same team he's on now so that he couldn't get to the NFC championship game. But now he's there. And my prediction for this game, Commanders 27, Eagles 24. I think the Commanders are going to do it, bro. I think the Commanders are going to do it. I don't know why I have this weird feeling in my stomach, but I think the Commanders are going to get to the Super Bowl, and here is why I say that. Eagles defense has played great, yes. There is one team that the Eagles in particular have struggled with playing against this season trying to defend. That's the Commanders. Now, granted, you have 2 games worth of film on the Commanders, but guess what? The Commanders also have 2 games worth of film on you. And this isn't your average rookie quarterback that you're playing against. This is an absolute demon that went to Tampa Bay, Detroit, did not give a damn that he was in somebody else's crib, walked in the trap, and took over the trap. And you tell me he's not going to try and do that against Philly? Come on now. Especially after losing there earlier in the year when they could have easily won that game. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure that game was close. I know the second game was damn close. Jaden had to win it at the end. But first game was 26-18. They could have won that game. And I do think that this time around, this is a more seasoned, poised, and disrespectful Washington offense. I mean, bro, they're so explosive. And they don't even really have too many weapons. It's, Brian Robinson is a decent back. Terry McLaurin's probably a top 15, borderline top 10 wide receiver in the NFL who's finally getting his due because he's had terrible quarterback play since he's gotten to the NFL. And he deserves this more than anybody. And another Ohio State alum who's probably celebrating the fact that he's in the championship round and Ohio State has a national championship added to their resume. But he's one of the most underappreciated wide receivers in the NFL. De'Ami Brown, who is decent. Zach Ertz, who's on the older side. So you have a bunch of guys who really are just scrappy football players that have been waiting for a shot, minus Zach Ertz. And now they finally have the head honcho in charge, Jaden Daniels, to lead them to the promised land. And the only thing that's gonna kill the Commanders this game because I definitely think that they have a way with the Eagles defense, especially if Quinyon Mitchell is not playing. That's a huge loss if he isn't playing. He got hurt last game. Yeah, Jaden Daniels might have his way. And if Jaden Daniels has his way with that Eagles defense, I don't think the Eagles offense will be able to combat it because I do feel as though the Eagles are going to have to win this game with the arm of Jalen Hurts. Saquon is not going to win them this game this time. They have to throw the ball. Jalen Hurts has got to find a way to find that first postseason run magic that he had when A.J. Brown first got there, when he went to the Super Bowl 2 years ago. He's got to find that magic again because if he does not, I am telling y'all, it is going to be a long day for the Eagles. And I think Eagles fans, they're crazy, they're hard-headed, but deep down inside, they won't admit it, but they know that. If Jaden gets going, it's over. Like, it's wraps. It's not even going to be... It might be a track meet up and down the field with the Commanders. So, that's why I feel so confident in the fact that the Commanders are going to win because their identity is established. And while the Eagles' identity is established, it's cracked because of the fact that not everybody's playing well. And unfortunately, one of those everybody's is the quarterback. Now, granted, he did have a touchdown pass that was dropped by A.J. Brown, who has complained in the past about not getting the ball. And I don't think he's doing that. I don't think he's doing that now. He's been very happy with the way that the Eagles have been playing despite passing. But, brother, don't complain about passing and then your ass dropping the ball. Catch the damn ball. You're one of the best receivers in the NFL. Catch the damn ball. I'm a huge A.J. Brown fan. But damn, bro, you got to catch the damn ball. Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown are going to be the difference makers in this game. If they're on the same page and they get going and A.J. Brown plays like the A.J. Brown that we all know he can play like, then the Eagles will probably win the game. But I just feel like that Commanders team is hot. And sometimes it's not being the best team. It's about getting hot at the right time. And I feel like the Commanders right now, they're the hottest team in football, baby. And it's going to be a long day for Philly if they can't figure it out. Washington Commanders 27, Eagles 24. Jaden Daniels is the first rookie quarterback to get to the Super Bowl. And then he has a juggernaut. He has a shootout with the Golden Boy, as Nick said in the chat earlier, of the NFL. I think that will be an absolute ridiculous game, and I'm really hoping I am hoping that that's the case because I think the Golden Boy against the Golden Rookie would go crazy, and I think that would be the Chiefs would be the Commanders' toughest opponent. I personally think the Commanders' offense would dog walk the Bills' defense. I generally think that Bills' defense isn't really that good, and they were playing with a lot of emotion because they were at the crib against Baltimore, who is, I guess, a little bit of a rival. Not really, but it's mainly just because Josh and Lamar. But they definitely wanted their get back against Baltimore for what they did to them earlier in the season. So, but yeah, on a neutral field, if Washington has to play Buffalo, I got my money on Washington all day. But I think the Chiefs are the toughest challenge for the Commanders, as I think the Commanders are the toughest challenge for the Chiefs. So, actually, I think I do think the Eagles are the tougher challenge for the Chiefs, but I think the Commanders would be the more fun game. So, with that being said, I think it's going to be Kansas City and Washington at the end of this week, which if you put down a bet for that Super Bowl earlier in the year, you're probably going to be a fucking millionaire, excuse my language, because one a damn soul that put down Washington, Kansas City in the Super Bowl, unless you were crazy. So, yeah, that's what I think is going to happen in the championship weekend. All right, quick little recap of basketball because we got 10 minutes left, so I'm going to breeze through these. Knicks finally defeat the Hawks. Finally, bro. Damn. It's about damn time that the Knicks beat the Hawks, bro. I was getting sick and tired of Trae Young walking into MSG and taking over the trap. Thank you, Jalen Brunson. Thank you, Mikal Bridges. Thank you, Josh Hart. Thank you, Kat. And thank you, OG Anunoby. Deuce, Precious, Campaign, Landry Shamet for defending the damn trap. Thank you for defending the trap. Great game overall. It was back and forth like most typical Knicks and Hawks games have been since 2021. Jalen Brunson led the way for the Knicks with 34 points and 6 assists. Mikal Bridges also chipped in 26 points and 4 assists. Cam Payne had a nice 10 points off the bench, with Josh Hart and Karl Anthony Towns putting up 14 and 9 and 13 and 9 respectively in the win for the Knicks. In a losing effort, Trae Young put up 27 and 6. Even though he went ice cold in the, all pun intended, ice cold in the fourth quarter. DeAndre Hunter had an exceptional game off the bench, put up 22 points, got hot in the fourth quarter. He seems to always have a great game against the Knicks, so I hate when DeAndre Hunter, I hate when the Hawks come into town, mainly because of Trae, but DeAndre Hunter, oh my gosh, he gets so hot. Pause. We got Big O Onyeka Okongwu put up 14 and 9, and Jalen Johnson putting up 11 and 12, and Dyson Daniels, I believe, had 4 steals. Dyson Daniels, we need to talk about him for Defensive Player of the Year because Dyson Daniels is a dog. But overall, great game. MSG was rocking on MLK Day. It was a beautiful atmosphere. Wasn't able to go to the game, but some of my coworkers did, and they said that the atmosphere, it was like a playoff game. So great to hear that. Shout out to the Knicks getting back on the right foot and keeping it close with the Celtics for that second seed. Can't believe that we're actually saying that. And the other game on MLK Day that went down to the wire was the Grizzlies and Timberwolves. The Grizzlies actually defeated the Timberwolves 108 to 106. Great game overall from the Grizzlies. It went down to the wire, but the Grizzlies did what they had to do in order to get the dub. Jaren Jackson put up 24 and 10. Desmond Bane putting up 22 and 6. Jalen Wells put in 13 and 2. And John Morant put up 19, 7, and 5 in a winning effort. On the other side, it was really all Anthony Edwards and Naz Reid. Anthony Edwards put up 32, 3, and 4. Naz Reid put up 29 and 8. Jaden McDaniels chipped in 11 and 11. Julius Randle also had 11 rebounds. And Rob Dillingham put up 15 off the bench. To wrap up our NBA MLK Day coverage, going to keep it short and sweet because there's still so much time left in the NBA. And All-Star Weekend is right around the corner. So super excited about that. All-Star Weekend is always a nice little event that goes on. I'll probably end up being at my aunt's crib for that because they always watch All-Star Weekend, and we were there last year. Shout out to Wesley because that's his parents. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a fun time, and I'm really looking forward to that. But yeah, that's our coverage for MLK Day basketball. So now we're bringing back our Player of the Week segment, our 24/7 Players of the Week. We're doing NFL, college football for the last time. Can't believe I'm saying that. That hurts. And Player of the Week in the NBA. We're going to start off with my Player of the Week in the NFL. And I think everybody knows who it is at this point after I spoke about him so highly. Jaden Daniels is offensive player, is the NFL Player of the Week. He had 350 total yards, 2 passing touchdowns, and played absolutely flawless against the number 1 seeded Detroit Lions. Walked into the trap, took over the trap, sent the Lions home, and now Jaden Daniels has a date with the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC Championship. So congratulations to Jaden Daniels on another stellar performance. He is my 24/7 NFL Player of the Week. My NBA Player of the Week he was actually also the NBA Player of the Week, voted by the NBA, is Jalen Green. Jalen Green's been hooping. Jalen Green's been going crazy. He averaged 32.5 points per game last week with a 60% from the field and 63% from 3. That is crazy. I know it's only a week, but oh my goodness. 60% from the field and 63% from 3. Brother was dialed in all week. He had his best game came in a win versus the Nuggets where he put up 34 points and 5 assists, and it was an efficient 34, shooting 12 of 17 from the field. So shout out to Jalen Green. He is your 24/7 NBA Player of the Week. And for the last Player of the Week in college football, I'm so mad that college football is done. I'm happy with the result, but I'm so mad that it's done. College football, this was one of the better college football seasons in recent memory. I think that players came to play. We had a generational Heisman season from a two-way player. We had number 1 seeds get dropped. We had a 13-0 team get all the way to the playoff just to lose in their first game. We had a team lose to their rival, and then that woke up a demon and got them all the way on a national championship run. We saw a white running back go crazy. I think it's great because we don't have too many of those outside of Christian McCaffrey. Shout out Cam Scatterbo. Yeah, college football was great. It was another great college football season. No SEC teams even made it to the championship. No SEC teams even made it to the Texas, but it was their first year, so no long tenured SEC team even made it to the semifinal. So yeah, it was a crazy year of college football. But ultimately Ohio State came out on top, and super happy to say that the player of the week for college football is an Ohio State player, but he actually wasn't player of the game, even though he probably should have been. Player of the week for college football was Quinshon Judkins. 13 touches, 121 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And above all else, that boy's a national champion. And for those that don't know Quinshon Judkins, he's the dude with the spin move. With the elite spin move when college football first came out, yeah. And as an Ohio State fan, bro, he bought that spin move out one time. He did not spin. He barely spun. Like, he didn't. I'm pretty sure he had one spin move all year, and I think it was against Iowa, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say it was against Iowa. Because I remember when he did it, and it was so slow, and I'm like, yeah, they're going to nerf him. And that was actually the week that they nerfed his spin move. So yeah, he's my last college football player of the week. He had one grown man touchdown where he stiff-armed the dude and then ran through 3 different tacklers before he got arm tackled and into the end zone. He had another 1-yard scamper, and then he had a 70-yard run in the college football championship, which is, as I said earlier, the longest run in the college football playoff era. Not in the playoff era, but longest run in the college football playoff national championship game. That's what I meant to say. Sorry, I'm losing it a little bit. Been talking for an hour, but and he obviously had the nice little catch where he came out on a nice little choice route. Came out. Will Howard rolled out to his right. Quinshon saw that the linebackers were going with him, and he crept right behind him. Will found him wide open in the back of the end zone. That put them up 21-7 right before half. And super happy that Quinshon decided to transfer to Ohio State. I'm very thankful for what he did. Him and Travion are the first Ohio State running back duo to both rush for 1,000 yards. They both had double-digit touchdowns. Quinshon had 14. Trey had 10. So I'm very thankful for Quinshon and what he did. He could come back, doubt it, but we'll see. He's a junior this year, so he can come back next year, but I doubt it. He's been too good. So so he is the final 24/7 college football player of the week. And with that, that's a wrap. So thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all who are going to watch this on YouTube. I'm super excited about being able to do this consistently, man. It's been a lot of fun being able to finally get back in tune with this. So, I'm super excited to see where this continues to go, because I definitely think that